Alright, this is Vin and Pip's channel. We're just in our camper van here, give it a quick brief look. It's alright, Nick. Does us anyway. Right, so Pip's gonna read us something and we're gonna discuss it and talk about it, so go for it, Pip.
It's John 4. It's the Yeshua talks with the Samaritan woman. When therefore the Lord knew how the Pharisees had heard that Yeshua made baptize more. Oh, can I start again? I've done it wrong.
Just continue.
Okay. When therefore the Lord knew how the Pharisees had heard that Yeshua made and baptized more disciples than John, though Yeshua himself baptized not, but his disciples, he left Judea and departed again unto Galilee. And he must needs go through Samaria. Then he cometh to a city of Samaria, which is called Sychar, near to the parcel of ground that Jacob gave to his son Joseph. Now Jacob's well was there. Yeshua therefore, being wearied with his journey, sat thus on the well, and it was about the 6th hour, which is 12 o'clock. There cometh a woman of Samaria to draw water. Yeshua said unto her, Give me a drink. For his disciples were gone away unto the city to buy meat. Then saith the woman of Samaria unto him, How is it that thou, being a Jew, ask a drink of me, which am a woman of Samaria? For the Jews having no dealings with Samaritans. Yeshua answered and said unto her, If thou knewest the gift of Jehovah, and who it is that saith to thee, Give me to drink, would thou have asked of him, and he would have given thee living water? The woman saying unto him, Sir, thou hast nothing to draw with, and the well is deep. From whence and then hast thou that living water? Art thou greater than our father Jacob, which gave us the well, and drank thereof himself, and the children, and his cattle?
So, what's just been said there? For one, she said to Messiah, why would a Jew speak to a Samaritan woman? Because obviously the Jews had nothing to do with the Samaritans because of their idolatry. So they weren't allowed to go to the feasts. Yeah. So they were kind of just separated from each other. The Jews, these Samaritans, yeah, or Israel, if you like, were kicked out because of idolatry, which is why they were away from the Jews. And if you go to Songs of Solomon, it goes, my watchmen look through the lattice. Yeah, or that my watchmen are seen through the lattice. And if you know anything about it, there was a wall there with lattice on it, and if you weren't a Jew, you weren't allowed to go past that wall when they were doing their feasts or their sacrificial law. But what Messiah was saying to her, there's going to come a time, which we'll read in a minute, where we're going to worship in spirit and truth. And no longer you do have to go to, but we'll read that. But one important factor, as she said, my father Jacob's well. So what was the Sumerian woman saying? She was saying that her father was Jacob. So if her father was Jacob, who is the Sumerian woman? Okay, she's a Gentile now, but she's Israel.
Yeah.
She's cast out among the Gentiles. Yeah, you getting it? Yeah. And Messiah is about to tell her that the fullness of the Gentiles are going to be brought in. To what? To mar the pride of Judah. Because Judah walked after the sins of Israel, and they'd seen the punishment that Israel got for it. And they still did the same things. If you read the scripture, I can't remember what it is now, but it says this is why Judah did worse than Israel, because they seen the punishment and they still did it. But continue on.
Yeshua answered and said unto her, Whosoever drinketh of this water shall thirst again. But whosoever drinketh of the water that I shall give him shall never thirst. But the water that I shall give him shall be in him a well of water springing up into everlasting life. The woman saith unto him, Sir, give me this water, that I may thirst not, neither come hither to draw. Yeshua said unto her, Go, call thy husband, and come hither.
Stop there. What's the living water? The living water is the covenant of promise, yeah, which was given on Horeb, yeah. So, and Yeshua is the living waters, yeah. He is the mountain of mercy, yeah. The sacrificial law is Mount Sinai, and you know what? He never wanted, because that's the mountain of sacrifice. You know, the blood of bulls and goats could never forgive sins, yeah. But the mountain of mercy, yeah, which is Yeshua, the living waters, the covenants of promise, the 10 commandments, yeah. That's the living waters, and that's what he was given to the Sumerian woman. Because now he's going to, well, we're going to read it in a minute, but he's going to say, no longer do we go to Jerusalem, but now we worship in spirit and truth. The law is going to be written on your hearts and in your minds, you know. That's the living waters. What God wrote with his own fingers on the tables of stone. So, continue, Pip.
But whoever drinketh of this water that I shall give him shall never thirst. But the water that I shall give him shall be in him a well of water springing up into everlasting life. The woman saith unto him, Sir, give me this water, that I may thirst not, neither come hither to draw. Yeshua said unto her, Go, call thy husband, and come hither. And the woman answered and said, I have no husband. And Yeshua said unto her, Thou hast well said, I have no husband. That's because she looked after other gods, wasn't it? They're her husband, both. For thou hast had 5 husbands, and he whom thou hast is not thy husband. In that sayest thou truly. And the woman said unto him, Sir, I perceive that thou art a prophet. Our fathers worshipped in this mountain, and ye say that in Jerusalem is the place where men ought to worship. And Yeshua said unto her, Woman, believe me, the hour cometh, when we shall neither in this mountain nor in Jerusalem worship the Father. Ye worship, ye know not what. Ye know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. But the hour has come, and now is, when the true worshippers shall worship the Father in spirit and truth, for the Father seeketh such to worship him. Jehovah is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship in spirit and in truth.
So what's worshipping in spirit and truth? What is it?
Doing the commandment.
It's worshipping it's worshipping in his covenants,
Yes.
right? And no longer, what is it, Jeremiah? No longer shall they go after the Ark of the Covenant, or no longer shall they even talk about it anymore, because I shall write their laws in their inward parts, and in their minds I shall write them, and I shall be their God, and they shall be my people. Yeah, and their sins and iniquities will I remember no more. Yeah, why? Because they worship in spirit and truth. No longer do they go after the sacrificial law and go to Jerusalem, because why? It's written in them. They put on the clothes of Messiah. Yeah, they walk around, right, and they go after the lost sheep. They do the royal law. They love God with all their hearts, which is to keep his commandments. Yeah, and they don't need anybody to tell them what to do, because it's just inside them. God comes and lives in you, and that's how you keep his covenant. Yeah, through obedience, through the spirit of grace. Not doing despite the spirit of grace. That's worshiping in spirit and truth, and that's what's come onto the earth. So continue, Pip.
We're going on to the Good Samaritan now. That's Luke 10.
Hang on a minute.
Oh,
She said, I have no husband.
yeah.
And he said, you answer rightly. You know why she had no husband? Because she was without God in the world. Yeah. Without God. They were forsaken. And when she said, I have no husband, he said, you answer rightly. Because he's the husbandman. You know, he was telling her the truth. It's like, you know, you don't. You've had 4 husbands and blah, 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 blah. And even the one now isn't your real husband. What he was trying to say to her is, I am. And she said, are you the one? And he said, yeah, I am. I am he. Yeah, and I'll give you the living waters, the covenant, his 10 commandments. No longer going to Jerusalem. You see what he was saying to her? Yeah, it was so important what he was saying to her. And she ran off and told the whole land and come back. This man knew everything about my life. He said he's going to give us living waters. Is this the Messiah? Yeah, it was, yeah. And she knew. And that's amazing that she knew. You know? She left the... What did she do? She left there...
The water pot.
The water pot by the well. She didn't need that anymore. She wanted the living waters, not the waters out of the well.
The water pot being the old covenant.
Yeah, the water pot being the old covenant.
Yeah.
Can't put new wine in old skins. You know what I mean?
Right.
You can't, can you?
No.
So, anyway, continue, Pip.
So we're going on to Luke 10, 25, and it's the Good Samaritan. We've got a connection here. And behold, a certain lawyer stood up and tempted him, saying, Master, what shall I do to inherit eternal life? He said unto him, what is written in the law? How readest thou? And answering said, Thou shalt love thy Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all my strength, and with all my mind, and thy neighbour as thyself.
So what does that mean, Pip?
That means doing the covenant, looking for the lost tribes.
So it means keeping his
Sabbath
holy, his commandments, and go and finding his lost sheep, eh? Yeah. So it's saying the same thing again, isn't it? Yeah. As the waters of the well. You keep his covenants, yeah, and you do have all his statutes and commandments that the prophet told us to do. What did it say? What did Moses say? He said, anyone who doesn't listen to this prophet that's going to come.
What's that?
Exodus 18.
Deuteronomy 18.
Yeah, can't remember now. But anyway, yeah. He said anyone who's...
The seed will come in my name.
Yeah. But anyway, what we were talking about, the relationship between the woman at the well, and we were talking about that she's the seed of Israel.
Yeah.
And we were saying that's connected to Psalms 22.
Yeah.
O ye the seed of Israel, O ye the seed of Jacob. She said, Jacob's my father. Yeah. O ye the seed of Jacob. Yeah. O ye the seed of Israel. What's it called? Psalm 22:30. A seed shall serve him. It shall be accounted to the Lord for a generation, for one generation. Yeah. They shall declare his righteousness, which is his covenant, which he was offering to the woman at the well, to a people that shall be born, that he had done this. What? Fulfilled the sacrificial law, yeah? And give back again, refreshed and made holy again, the covenants of promise, and gave them back to Israel, back to the Sumerians, back to the Gentiles, and brought the fullness of the Gentiles in, and given the promise to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob at Jacob's well. Right there.
Shall I carry on?
Go on, continue, Pip.
And his answering said, Thou shalt love thy neighbour, love thy God with all thy heart and all thy soul and all thy thy strength, and with all thy mind, and love thy neighbour as thyself. And he said unto him, Thou hast answered right. This do, and thou shalt live. But he, willing to justify himself, said unto Yeshua, And who is my neighbour? And Yeshua answering said, A certain man went down to Jerusalem, to Jericho, and fell among the thieves, which stripped him of his raiment. Oh, sorry. lost it. Stripped him of
Okay,
his
cool.
of raiment and wounded him, and departed, leaving him dead, half dead. And by chance there came a certain priest that way, and when he saw him, he passed by on the other side. And likewise a Levite, when he was at the place, came and looked on him and passed by on the other side. But a certain Samaritan, as he journeyed, came where he was, and when he saw him, he had compassion on him, and went to him and bound up his wounds, bound up the wounds, in oil, and pouring oil on him and wine, and set him on his own beast. Well, we said the donkey, wasn't it?
Yeah. So what did he do? He gave them the oil. He gave them the wine. He gave them the gospel.
Yeah.
And he set him on the beast. Yeah. He set him on the donkey. Yeah.
The servant.
He set him on the servant.
Yeah.
You know, like my missus calls me a donkey, and I go thanks.
Yeah.
She's trying to insult me, and I go,
No,
I am a donkey.
He's a good donkey. Okay.
No, but you know what I mean? It's like the donkey's the servant, so he set him upon the servant with the oil and the wine. And Yeshua was the biggest servant. You know, why do you think he rode into town on the donkey? Yeah. And then cast down the money tables, and you know what I mean, kicked them all out. Why? And what did he do with the donkey and the colt? He tied them to the vine.
Yeah, he did.
What's the vine? It's himself.
Yeah. It's the word.
So be a beast of burden, be a servant, do the work, fulfill the royal law. It's all about fulfilling the royal law. It's all about keeping his covenant. The whole gospel. You just got to know how to interpret it properly. But anyway, go on, continue, Pip.
And he went
Good
to
reading.
him and bound his wounds, pouring on the oil and the wine, and set him on his own beast, and brought him to an inn.
Right, hang on a minute. Once my land was full of prayer, and oil ran down the beard of Aaron. How has my faithful city become a harlot? Right, so when he says, once my land was full of prayer, if you look at your Strong's Concordance, I think it's 54:58, don't quote me on that, but prayer is judgment. And the oil that ran down the beard of Aaron was righteousness, was his covenant, yeah, his 10 commandments. So once my land judged prayer, judgment in righteousness, the 10 commandments, how has my faithful city become a harlot? That's what that verse really means. And that's what that's saying right there.
Yeah.
Read that again, just so we know.
And when he went to him and bound up his wounds, pouring in the oil and the wine, and set him on his own beast, and brought him to an inn, and took care
the
of
oil
him.
and the wine.
Yeah.
Yeah. The judgment and in his covenant, righteous judgment, and then set him on the beast, on the donkey. Yeah.
Yeah. And on the morrow, when he departed, he took 2 pence and gave them to the host, and said to him, take care of him, and whatsoever thou spendest more, when I come again, I will repay thee. Which now of these 3 thinkest thou was neighbor unto him that fell among the thieves? And the thieves being the briars and the thistles.
Yeah, the thorns, the
The
briars,
thorns,
the
the
nations,
briars,
the thorny briars.
Yeah.
You know, the nations, the worldly people.
And he was a lawyer. He was a lawyer.
Yeah.
A certain lawyer tempted him. So that's brilliant. And he said, he that showed mercy on him. Then said Yeshua unto him, go and do likewise. Go and show mercy.
Yeah.
Go and
mercy,
love thy neighbour as you
love your neighbour.
thyself.
Yeah, so mercy and not sacrifice.
Give them the royal law. Tell them the
He never
truth.
wanted you to stone your neighbour to death.
Yeah.
There's nothing holy about that.
Yeah.
It was a punishment until a seed should come. That's Galatians. Yeah. A schoolmaster. A punishment added to the 10 commandments. until the seed should
Yeah.
come, because of transgression, because of idolatry, the sin that leads to death. Yeah, and now the seeds come. He relinquished that punishment from us and refreshed and gave us back the covenants of promise again and made them holy. And that's all he ever wanted.
And that good Samaritan was the seed of Jacob, because they were
Yeah.
converted, and that she ran. She went into the village, told everybody, and they all went and saw Yeshua.
Yeah, she was
and they
doing
were
the royal law.
Doing the royal law, and he did the royal law.
Right there then. Right when he told her, she was like, right,
Yeah.
go and do the royal law.
Yeah.
Go and tell everyone.
Yeah.
So, yeah, anything else you wanted to touch on? Or?
I think that's all of it. It's
All right, this was just what the missus wanted to read tonight, and she was just saying, can we discuss it? Discuss it. We've been reading all day and all day yesterday, and we've got loads more to talk about. But yeah, that'll do for this video, I suppose. And we're gonna do more videos like this, I suppose, in the future.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay. Till next time. Love everyone. See you later. Bye from me and Pip.